All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Well, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Of course, I'm your host, Lance Miliancho, with my ride or die main guy, George Ballantyne, tip of the spear. That's how we do it here on this show. Of course, it's always edge of the knife. We're going to do all the research so you guys don't have to, and hopefully we get it right. We try to make sure this isn't mainstream media. And of course, we don't blindly follow anybody. We go after everybody when it comes to the politics of what's going on in D.C. We don't like any of it. I don't like the fraud. I don't like anything else. George, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Lance?
How are
What's
you,
going on?
man?
I'm all right. You know,
Grinding away. Good.
it was like same shit, different day. That's what it seems like, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll see what we got for you guys. What news we're covering? It's Thursday. There's no special day for Thursday, right? There's no. It's not like Taco Tuesday or Hump Day Wednesday, whatever. I'm gonna have to come up with something for Thursday.
I hope not.
I'll come up with something now. Definitely now, because you said I hope not.
I'm kind of hoping you do.
Matter of fact, people in the chat, come up with a slogan for Thursday for me.
I don't think
know.
George needs any more slogans. He does need fresh material, though. If you guys want to come up with some fresh material for him, that would be great. Anyway, of course, if you love the show, you know the drill. Hit that follow button. Hit the subscribe. If you do the $5 subscription, fantastic. You can throw us a run tip. I don't care whether it's $1, $5, $10, $1 million. Feel free to do it. If you need to, help support free speech, you can always do Rumble Premium. Of course, it comes with Perplexity. You can get that AI with it. So if you're paying for Perplexity, otherwise, it's a great way to thank Rumble for what they're doing. So anything new on your end, George? Anything new over there, buddy? Nothing?
Where, by me?
Yeah.
I mean, I got the gas company working on the street, tearing up the street. You know what? I got there's a tree on my neighbor's yard that we're paying to get it cut down because it's on ours and been there, pine needles. So the guy just called me. The town's like, because you have to get a permit because I got to bring a crane in. And then they said, well, if you cut the tree down, you got to plant 3 new trees.
What?
So like, what? I'm like, that defeats the purpose. Or you could pay $50 more. So I was thinking, okay, I can buy like a tree seed. And, okay, here, I planted it. It ain't growing, it ain't my fault. You know what I mean? I can do that, be a real jerk off.
Well, here's my question. Is the tree dead?
No, it's a pine, like a big pine needle tree.
Uh-huh.
And it's like on the corner. It's just, pine needles are a pain in the ass.
Are you trimming it or you're cutting it down?
No, cutting it down.
Okay. I mean, you could plant 3 nice trees of some sort, find
No.
something.
It's not, no.
No?
No.
All right. Well, I guess kill the tree. Go for it. All right. Well, in the meantime, of course, we always like to talk and give a shout out to our sponsors. We appreciate all the support from Genesis Gold Group. They're our go-to guys for gold and silver. George and I are gold and silver bugs. We're always trying to stack. At the end of the day, of course, the Prepper Bar is a perfect solution. This is a 62.2 gram Prepper Bar, perforated, as you can see. 3 different denominations, very easy to snap off a small piece, break off a small piece to make a payment. Because again, if you have a 1 ounce gold coin or a 1 ounce silver coin or a larger, say a 10 ounce, what are you going to do? Chop it off with a hacksaw, cut it with some tin snips. This is a great idea. They came out with it. And whether it's for diversification, asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or in the case of the Prepper Bar, it's a very unique utility for barter and trade. It's a perfect gift. Listen, for your grandkids, your children, your loved ones, having some gold and silver on hand, especially with $40 trillion in debt, we really don't know what's going to happen to the U.S. dollar. Anybody with common sense would tell you that 40 trillion is not a good number. Congress is never going to balance the budget. That's why I think having a couple of these in your sock drawer, your underwear drawer, maybe even in your gun safe, having some on hand just in case you need it, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Head over to thebigmigbar.com. That's right, thebigmigbar.com. Now, the good news is No counterfeit gold coming out of Genesis Gold Group. These come with an assay report. And what you can do is use these promo codes to save money because, we love for you guys to save money, especially since it seems like inflation is still not under control and the price of the gas pumps, well, it sucks, although we hear there's a ceasefire. Big Mig Gold's going to get you 5% off on the gold. That's Big Mig Gold is your promo code. Big Mig Silver is going to get you 10% off on the silver prepper bar. You can use that QR code, and that'll take you right to the bigmigbar.com. That's right, the bigmigbar.com. Just take a snapshot. Don't go there now. We got a lot to cover. And, of course, you can also call them at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154, the bigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that prepper bar. And Lance, it's Thirsty Thursday.
It's what?
Thirsty Thursday.
I don't know, man.
It's just,
Whoever did that in the chat, if you ever did that in the chat and tried to give George material like that, I'm ashamed of you.
I like it. I said Thirsty Thursday sounds good. You could be thirsty for a lot of things. A woman could be thirsty for something. A man could be thirsty for something. Could mean lots of things. Could be thirsty for knowledge.
The
I don't know.
last thing you need is more innuendo. Between the stuff that you've named the days of the week, I personally.
Hey,
don't
listen,
believe
Lance.
you
Mini
need
Ball
more.
likes it. Who came up with it? Who was it? I'm trying to think. Who was it? Was it Skunk or somebody said it? I don't even know. But Mini Ball likes it, so I'm going with it. Thirsty Thursday. That's what it is. You don't like it? Oh, well. Glenn Dean is banned from Facebook again. Glenn Dean, you're a bad, bad boy, Glenn Dean.
How do you keep getting banned over there, Glenn? What's going on, bro? Why do they keep street jacking you like that? What's going on? I mean, I know why they banned us a long time ago. We got back on, but they wouldn't give us back our original account.
Talking about Facebook, Lance. We're not talking about YouTube.
Oh, I thought he was talking about YouTube.
No,
Well, you got suspended on YouTube, didn't you, George? I'm not on YouTube,
Lance,
so I don't know.
Lance, are you all right, bro? We got the Big Mig Show account on YouTube. We got banned on YouTube there. We're talking about
Facebook. I'm
we're
sorry.
talking about Facebook.
Did you get suspended on Facebook, George? That's what I was
They
trying to say.
gave me a violation, but I won the appeal because the AI is the one that triggers it, and AI not knowing things. But no, I'm not banned on there. Never got banned on Facebook. I got suspended back in the day.
And you did get a couple accounts jacked on TikTok, though, right?
Oh yeah, too.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of platforms don't like the truth that the Big Mig Show brings, but of course, that's what it's all about, is us putting the real information out there.
Wait.
So I was messing around with AI last night. I was making some thumbnail, having some fun with some stuff. One of the things I get to do. George does it too. And it's interesting. The top story today, of course, is a CIA officer. I still don't understand how this whole works with the CIA, where you can just walk in and have them order gold for you. They give you gold and then you just steal it. But I was making pirates, and I thought it was interesting. George I don't know what it is. AI loves to make George a smiling pirate. And me, I get to be an angry pirate. I don't know.
You know why I'm smiling? Because I'm the head pirate, right? It's my ship. I'm the captain, right? Oh, in this picture, hold on. George is a captain. I'm
George
smiling
is a
because the captain gets
I
all the gold,
officially
bro.
made you the captain.
You're just
What?
a deck swab. You're one of
Maybe
those.
that's why I'm angry.
Probably.
Maybe I have scurvy. Maybe that's why
I don't
I'm
know.
angry.
Maybe I need to put you on the plank and walk the plank. I don't know.
I mean, you could try.
I
I,
could-
don't know.
what?
I might. There might be a mutiny going on because I don't
There
know.
ain't gonna be no mutiny. I'm the captain.
Sometimes
People
you're a
love
little-
me.
Sometimes you're a little grumpy. Maybe the whole staff is going to mutiny. I don't know. But
I'm
anyway,
grumpy because I got to deal with people like you, the insubordination.
It could be. I mean, but you're not grumpy. You're smiling. You're happy. You're not. I'm the grumpy guy.
I
I'm the
know.
grumpy pirate. I
Look
don't
at a
know.
pirate. Look.
AI has a perception of me that they think I'm always.
Arr.
All right. Well, and of course, we talk about AI a lot. We talk about crypto. We talk about everything on the show. We got some great guests coming up. Joe Kent had to reschedule, so I apologize to you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He had a conflict, so we had to we got a lot of interviews for next week. I'll start putting those. And if you haven't joined the Big Mig community over on X, please get over there and join it, and you'll see some stuff. I'm going to try to put up the next sets of interviews in here today. George has got to do some training with me on some stuff. He's got to teach me how to do some things on some audio stuff. So, because he's much better than I am on all that tech stuff, that's for sure. Well, so this ex-CIA officer, this is a crazy story. He was arrested. And they caught him And I don't know how this happened. I feel like somebody had to snitch on him.
It was through an audit, bro. Through an audit. They caught him through an audit.
But I mean, how do you convince how do you walk in? This guy's name is David Rush, guys. And he's a senior CIA with high level clearances. And he had, top secret, classified. And he faces charges of course, stealing public money, which, I mean, okay, he's stealing public money. How about all those people over at USAID? How about the 14 magic money computers? Haven't heard much about that, but they go in and this guy had $40 million worth of gold that I guess he had walked in and said, hey, I need this. I have operational needs that I've got to pay these informants and they want to be paid in gold. He had cash and he had a really nice high-end watch collection, mostly Rolexes. I got a couple of pictures of some of them. I was hoping they'd lay out all 35 watches. I couldn't find, George, you didn't see one with all 35 watches, did you?
No, who cares? They're Rolex watches. I mean, Rolex is Rolex. We don't need pictures.
I know, but 35 Rolexes? I was thinking,
all right, but who needs a picture to see? People seen Rolexes.
I wanted to see what kind of watches he had. Just me personally.
I just want to know, how smart of a CIA guy, you leave your gold in the house. Man, get somewhere else to stash your stuff.
I mean,
that's the thing people do. The dumbest thing that criminals or people do is you never leave anything in your home. You have to find an address. It's not in your name. It's nothing related to you and stash your stuff there.
Well, with $40 million, you probably could have bought him a safe house. I mean, he had plenty of money. I don't understand why he stayed here in the U.S. I mean, you have $40 million. You got the watches, which who knows what those were worth. He could have just split. I don't get it. So they seized the hoard. They went in, they raided him on May 18th. And I guess these investigators uncovered 2 decades of lies about his education and military service. Additionally, this guy said he was a pilot.
Lance.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
How did he pass the scrutiny of the background checks with the CIA if he lied about some military service and how did he get past that? I need to talk to the person. I need to talk to people doing the background checks at the CIA.
It's a good question.
If that's the case, the CIA should give me a job. Hold on.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then the CIA should give me a job.
I mean, if you can pass a background check like this,
well, if this guy passed it, I think I should be able to pass then.
Well, the bottom line is he said he was a pilot. He said he had military service. He said that he was like a Navy Reserve captain and he was a test pilot for some kind of test aircraft. So that got him, I guess, $77,000 in improper pay because I guess all these different certifications. Now he applied a bunch of times and every time he got turned down, he upped the ante, adding more background. Oh, I'm a test pilot. I'm this. So he had these bars, and I guess they were like kilo bars, I guess. He had 303 of them. He also had $2 million in US currency. Like I told you, he had 35 luxury watches. They were mostly Rolexes. And his explanation for the gold is that he had work-related expenses. Now, I had no idea. I know I'm very familiar. I know that they use a lot of cash overseas. You've seen the pallets of cash they left behind when they ran out of Afghanistan, which I still don't understand that. But they do a lot of cash stuff. I mean, there's no doubt in overseas operations and otherwise because they're trying to pay off warlords and influence people to do things. And of course, a lot of times if they have an informant, they have to pay for that information. But I don't really understand how someone with a completely fabricated resume had top secret clearances for 2 decades without anyone noticing. I'm stumped. If this is supposed to be one of our premier law enforcement agencies, not that I trust the CIA, I do not. I don't currently trust Ratcliffe. I told you that before, John Ratcliffe. I have my own opinion about him. I don't think he did a good job with the first administration. He had the election fraud proof and he sat on it like a pussy. He didn't do shit with it. And I thought he was a good guy in the beginning. And then when I realized he wasn't going to put any of the information out, and now we've determined that he had a lot of information he never put out, I don't know why Trump put him back into office. It's kind of like giving Pam Bondi a second job. All of a sudden now she's got a job again in the AI department of all things. And I don't think I looked around. I can't find anything that makes her an AI expert. Maybe it's because she's legal, but I don't know. We've got a clip, but George, I don't know what else we've got on this. I had a couple other pieces of media in there, George.
You did? I don't know. Let me just show the video.
secretly stashing 300 gold bars in his house that he brushed off as work-related expenses, according to court documents, and two people familiar with his employment history. Julia Ainsley is joining us now at this exclusive reporting. Sorry, Julia. What?
I know. Hallie, when I first heard this tip, I didn't think it was real. And then the court documents spelled out that there was a man who was an employee of a government agency that was found with $40 million worth of gold bars in his home. If you're wondering how many gold bars that is, the court document says it's about 308. What my team here at NBC News, Dan DeLuce and Gary Grumbach and I found is that that man was not just an employee of any agency. He was a high-level official with top secret clearance in the CIA, and that he not only lied about what he was doing with this money, but that allegedly he also lied about his background, said that he graduated from a college he did not attend, that he went to a graduate school he did not attend, and that he had a pilot's license that the FAA said he did not have. So he was arrested last week, and he is now in detention facing these charges of lying about his background and perhaps unknowingly embezzling American taxpayers' money. I want to read you a statement we just got in from the CIA saying that after a CIA internal investigation identified potential violations of the law, CIA Director John Ratcliffe referred the information to the FBI for a law enforcement investigation. The FBI is working closely with our partners at the CIA and the Department of Justice as we continue to investigate this matter fully. So, Hallie, we will be staying on this, but what this looks like is that this was someone who was given currency. He was even paid in cash and watches that he said needed to be used in order to pay for operations that he was in charge of. But rather than keeping it in his office, they found $40 million worth of this gold, as well as $2 million in cash and 35 luxury watches in his home. So.
What? Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta fix something. I just
yeah, no problem. So, normally, just so everybody knows, the reason a lot of times people buy watches, expensive watches, because if you have it on your wrist, you've got guaranteed cash. And I'm surprised he didn't have more expensive watches with $2 million in cash and $40 million. I'm surprised. That's what I was curious about, because we had that story where that kid was rolling around with $500,000 on one hand and $350,000 on the other. The kid that stole the crypto from the U.S. Marshal Service. But this guy, smart enough to steal the money, just not smart enough to move it around the way he should have. If they'd raided him and hadn't found anything, maybe there wouldn't have been as many questions. Maybe he would have gotten away with it. But clearly he thought he was, he'd gotten away with all of it and wasn't concerned about anybody coming to his house to raid him. I don't know how they got the tip off. They said it was an audit. But lots of things have been audited and nobody gets this kind of a raid. So this is pretty interesting because, of course, you've seen this theft from the USAID. Has anybody heard about any raids? You guys in the audience, you guys are in the chat, you tell me. I haven't heard anybody getting raided for the theft from the money in USAID. Even the arrests that are related to Minnesota or some of the stuff that they're investigating in California, I haven't heard anything about these big seizures where people's Ferraris and Rolls Royces and all the cars that they're using in these hospice centers and these autism centers and the Leering Center, all the luxury purses and everything else they spent the money on, which we've heard those stories. I haven't heard these big raids going on in that situation. They're not raiding those people, but they're raiding the CIA guy. Not that they shouldn't have raided him. Pretty awful what he did, but I don't know. George, have you heard about any raids that I haven't heard about?
No, we've seen arrests. Who knows what they did with those arrests in Minnesota? I don't know. They could have. They pretty much talk about the people getting arrested, not really what was seized.
Yeah.
I have to look into that. That's a good one.
Interesting. We've seen them rolling around in $400,000, $500,000 cars. I haven't heard anything of that's getting, and you would think that'd be big news, right? They raid somebody from Minnesota and they snatch their house and their cars and their bank accounts. You think that'd be all over the news. This one hit and it went pretty.
I think
big.
the fact that they just get arrested is big news for everybody. So we're getting arrested without hearing all the goodies. Or maybe they did seize cars, but they're using them for undercover. You never know. They don't want to, talk about it.
Maybe.
Possible.
Maybe. I think anything's possible, but
anything is possible.
All right. Well, shocker about this. I'm surprised she did this on air. I'm not sure what the reasoning was, but of course, for anybody that has been living under a stone, Jill Biden just stunned the nation with this statement. She said that during the debates when Joe Biden was debating Donald Trump, she said, I was frightened. I never saw Joe like that before. I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. Well, maybe he was. Maybe it was a small seizure. I don't know. But it's interesting that she's now put him on Front Street. Not that we all didn't think this. Not that we all didn't think that Joe Biden had, issues going on. Did he have a mini stroke? I have no idea. But of course, he wasn't doing very well in that debate, although they claimed that he did really well. A lot of the media tried to cover up what happened. I mean, I don't know, George. Did this kind of surprise you that Joe Biden just took a pot shot at him?
It does surprise me. He didn't have a stroke. That was just Joe Biden's regular, everyday mental capacity. That's how he was. But nobody wanted, on the other side, wanted to confirm it or acknowledge it. But if she was thinking that she thought he was having a stroke, then why would she encourage him to keep staying in the presidential race? Because she was one of the people that didn't want him to stop running and give it to Kamala. Can she answer that? Dr. Jill Biden? No, right? Can't get an answer on that one. I mean,
I don't think she can. Let's play the clip so you guys can hear it from the horse's mouth here.
Revealing just how alarmed she was watching Joe Biden during his horrendous 2024 debate performance. In a new CBS interview that will air Sunday morning, Jill Biden says at one point she thought the president was having a stroke.
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold?
I wasn't horrified, I was frightened because I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since. Never.
Or since?
Yes, or
You've
since.
never seen him like
never.
that?
No.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
But remember when she told him after the debate how great he did?
Oh, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie! Yes.
All right, joining me now, Fox News contributor.
well, she's not going to go right after the show when they're talking and say, Joe, I thought you were having a stroke to everybody. I mean, here's the thing. Who was it? Skunk just brought this up in the chat. How long was he in Delaware? Remember he was in Delaware prepping for this debate?
I do. They had him hunkered down. He wasn't doing any press interviews, nothing. He was just, they were probably in there trying to, give him an IV.
They were trying to figure out how much, amphetamines or something to keep him awake. Trying to find the right balance.
But the truth is, you're right about that. There were a lot of rumors that they were pumping him up with whatever they could pump into his system to try to make him articulate for a short period of time. Everybody knows he had dementia and Alzheimer's at this point. It was clear. I've been around a person, because a friend of mine's dealing with it, a person that has Alzheimer's, and it's frightening. It's a frightening disease. Horrible disease. So what's worse is when your family members, like Jill Biden, didn't stop anything, didn't step in and say, hey, we're not going to do this. We're done. And of course, Harris wasn't any better. They covered up her interview on 60 Minutes. But now Joe Biden is panicked, and he is suing the DOJ to try to prevent the release of the interview audio that they have in their possession regarding an investigation into his handling of classified documents. Now,
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this audio.
If he was so articulate and his whole family thought he should run for president of the United States, and the Democrats told you, oh, don't worry, Joe Biden's great. He's as sharp as ever. And you heard them all, Nancy Pelosi, all of them just raving about how super sharp Joe Biden was, all lying to you. But I guess multiple interviews that he actually gave to a ghostwriter for his 2017 book, which I don't believe sold worth a shit, but that's how the graph goes. You get a book deal, you get the money, and you don't have to repay the money. It's a way to get a bribe into the government officials. A lot of people get book deals. Look at Kamala Harris. She owed $25 million on her campaign, and miraculously, she gets a $25 million book deal. Miraculously. Oh, congratulations. We're going to pay you preemptively $25 million. Oh, is that the exact number you owe? Yeah. So the DOJ says they're going to release him. I don't believe there is a basis, because that's the difficulty when you're a government official. You know, all that stuff that you do during those time periods is supposed to be full disclosure. I'm not saying it is, but it's supposed to be. Let's play this clip. It's pretty interesting.
Biden is suing the Justice Department over materials tied to the special counsel investigation into his handling of classified documents. That year-long investigation resulted in a 345-page report questioning the former president's age and mental fitness, but recommended no criminal charges against the then 81-year-old. Correspondent David Spudd is following that story for us.
Former President Joe Biden is suing the Department of Justice to block the release of transcripts and audio files of multiple interviews he gave a ghostwriter for a 2017 book. The DOJ plans to release the material to the House Judiciary Committee as soon as June 15th. Biden's lawyers write President Biden, like every American, has a right to privacy and personal conversations he had within his own home. That is particularly true here, where the department obtained this information through a criminal investigation. That criminal investigation, led by then special counsel Robert Hur in 2023, probed classified documents found in Biden's private office and his Delaware garage. Biden was cleared of any criminal wrongdoing. Biden sat for multiple interviews in 2016 and 2017 with his ghostwriter Mark Zwanitzer for a book about Biden's late son, Beau. Those tapes were turned over to her as part of his investigation. Biden's spokesman tells Fox the 46th president granted the interviews on the condition that they would not be made public, adding what's happening now isn't about transparency, it's about politics. The House committee has asked for the files for 2 years for what a source there calls general oversight. President Trump asked about the potential release.
Maybe there's some constitutional reason. I don't know. I would like to see what he has to say.
I would like to see what he has to say too, because I think it's going to be shocking, but also funny about his mental acuity. I mean, he'll probably say things he didn't know he probably wasn't even supposed to be saying on there. That's the thing. I mean, what is taking so long? 2 years? Come on. Can we get the goddamn tapes? Don't be like Epstein. We have to go that route.
It's been pretty quiet on the Epstein front, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. Wonder
what is
why.
going on with that, George?
I don't know. I want to know what's going on with that ranch. I haven't heard much lately.
You know, weren't they digging around looking for bodies not too long ago on the ranch?
Yep. But you know, they silence it all. Nothing like a good war to silence a big story.
Yeah, or a UFO release.
What UFOs?
You know, well, they let some stuff out, but not what we all hoped for. We were hoping for the real scoop, and they just gave us the bare minimum.
I'm going to give the Trump administration, I'm going to give them something good right now. If you want to block out other stories, just take unit troops, go to Fort Knox, barge your way in and edit Fort Knox, like do an inventory of the gold.
Not edit.
Audit.
Yeah.
Edit.
You're going to edit. I don't think that's going to work.
Sorry. Audit. Yeah.
Fort Knox.
That will take what? That will take. Oh my God. It'll be all over the news.
You mean when they go in there and the gold's missing? You mean that'll just take up the news?
Yeah, because then we got to find out who took the gold, when, where, why, who, what.
Well, maybe the guy from the CIA took part of it.
Maybe.
Took $40 million of it anyway. I don't know that it was gold out of Fort Knox. You know, we of course on this show we believe that there isn't any gold in Fort Knox, or you know that maybe they've even. You
know what's funny, Lance? I got to bring this up.
Yeah, please.
Because you were on this text message. So yesterday, a friend of ours on a text with me and Lance texts us a clip of a show, somebody's show. How the guy was talking about how the feds estimate the gold. They value the gold at like $42 an ounce. And he's like, "Is that true?" You know what I said to him? I said, we've been saying that on our show for 2 years, talking about that. Nothing new. And it's 42.2 something an ounce. Because you remember on the show, people. Remember on the show that I said I offered the feds, I'd give them $100 an ounce to get that much profit, and I buy all the gold. Then they didn't get back to me. We've been saying that for a long time.
I'm shocked they didn't call you.
I know.
Shocked and appalled. But you know, it's interesting though. that we heard about the audit. You know, Elon Musk mentioned they were going to do a walkthrough, a video walkthrough audit, and then boom, nothing, crickets. I don't really understand why. Well, I do understand why, but the truth of the matter is the American people ought to be up in arms. I mean, that is your gold in Fort Knox, or at least it's supposed to be. But now you got CIA officers that seem to have a lot of gold, and you don't. So, all right, George, you've always been on top of Fulton County. What do we got going on, bro?
When the lights went out in Georgia, I brought this up briefly yesterday, I think, but I said the DOJ, they're moving in and they're questioning all the Fulton County, Georgia 2020 election workers. And this is part of their huge fraud investigation. Because remember now, the FBI went in and seized all the ballots, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say too, because I told, just remember Ruby Freeman and her daughter or mother, whatever, however the two. Remember the same two that sued Rudy Giuliani for defamation. They actually won and stuff. Well, I'm just curious, Lance, if they find something, is that thing going to be overturned? And is Rudy Giuliani going to be compensated with interest? Plus damages for him? I mean, but from who? Ruby Freeman and the mother ain't got a pot to piss in between both of them. So how much could Giuliani get? But at least he gets his name back. But they're all panicking. And rightfully so. Even CNN was talking about it. But CNN's going to say, oh, they talk the same shit. And there's no evidence. There's nothing, this and that. But we're going to see. We're going to find out. Because if they're going through all the ballots and the machines. I mean, do you remember watching the video? And I'm going to say allegedly, people, just to cover our asses. When there was supposed to be no more counting or voting, no more counting of the votes, but meanwhile, somebody goes underneath the table, pulls out these boxes of ballots, and all of a sudden starts scanning them through. And then all of a sudden they scan those ballots, and they even scanned them again. But we didn't that. I mean, I seen it with my eyes. I know Lance seen it. Maybe you guys seen it, but according to everybody else, oh no, they didn't do that. We're going to find out.
And that's the crazy part. You would think that some of these people would have already faced consequences for subverting our election. I don't know. I don't understand. You'd think there'd be some random arrests. The people that took those ballots out, rolled out the suitcases and rescanned ballots over and over again. Of course, none of those were for Donald Trump. They were all for Joe Biden.
Yeah, how is that?
I don't know.
Mathematically possible. What are the odds? Yeah.
If you're cheating, the odds are just about 100% in your favor.
Odds are in your favor.
All right, Wolf Blitzer, let's play the clip.
CNN's talking about this. I was shocked.
We're in Fulton County, Georgia. Some poll workers and ballot counters from the 2020 presidential election could soon hear a knock on their doors. Federal prosecutors say when they have the names and the addresses of those election workers, investigators will try to talk to them. President Trump has long claimed without evidence that there was widespread voter fraud in Fulton County, and that contributed to his re-election loss to Joe Biden. Let's go live right now to CNN crime and justice correspondent Caitlin Polans, who's working the story for us. Caitlin, is the Justice Department going to get all these lists of election workers and their addresses?
Well, Wolf, that's going to be the big question in court. We're still waiting to see what a judge will do. What has happened here is that the Justice Department, they've made clear they want to reopen and ask questions again about what happened in the 2020 election, especially in Fulton County, Georgia. That's the county that includes Atlanta, that Joe Biden won by more than 2/3 of the more than 500,000 votes there. It was a real wash of an election for Biden there. But Trump really does want to continue to say that the 2020 election was rigged. And now the Justice Department, they're going after thousands of names and addresses of these 2020 election workers. At a hearing last week, that was where the judge was hearing about why the Justice Department actually may want these things. This election happened 6 years ago. That's out of the time frame where the Justice Department could bring voting-related federal criminal charges if they even would get to that point with a grand jury. And a prosecutor there, his name is Will McComb, he said, "We are not sure what charges can be brought." And then he told the judge, We don't know what they will tell us as far as what happened or what improprieties may or may not have happened in the 2020 election, and whether that is a continuing situation in this current election cycle or in the next election cycles for the Fulton County Board. But what the Justice Department is also saying is they just want to go out, knock on doors, potentially interview these ballot workers and poll workers. The judge, though, is looking at this. Is it a fishing expedition? And is this way too broad of a request? We're waiting to see what happens in this federal court proceeding. Wolf?
And as you know, Caitlin, the Southern Poverty Law Center is accusing the U.S. Justice Department of what they're calling vindictive prosecution.
First of all, who cares what Southern Poverty Law Center says? They should be, all their licenses should be revoked for all the crap they did. But just like CNN, us too, we're also waiting to see what happens. Just curious. I didn't like the fact that, they said it's 6 years, they can't bring any charges because it's already 6 years. I wonder what the statute of limitations, depends on what charges they bring. But, listen, if they find stuff, and let's just say, I'll use an example, Ruby and the mom, whatever. They testified in depositions under oath and everything. And if they're found out to be untrue, well, you never know. There could be charges there brought. Lying, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm hoping that we'll see this will trigger some arrests, but man, we're over a year in. What are we, a year and 4 months in? Year and 3 months?
Well, they just seized the ballots, 4 months ago, something like that?
Yeah.
You know, they were given a hard time trying to hand over the ballots. Rightfully, now you know why. If they're giving a hard time handing stuff over, it means they're trying to hide something.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want voter ID and you don't want to hand over the evidence for ballots or otherwise, then of course it's because you know there was cheating. Or maybe you want to cheat yourself this year. Maybe you want to cheat in the midterms, you know? The American public ought to be up in arms because it should be free and fair elections that we can count on, not third world skullduggery bullshit. All right. To ceasefire or not to ceasefire? That is the question. Question is, George, what is a ceasefire? I thought a ceasefire is when you stop doing anything kinetic. I thought you didn't do anything. You just kind of waited while you were negotiating.
You know what, Lance? I'm pulling up right now.
The ceasefire has me confused, bro.
I'm gonna read the definition. A ceasefire is a temporary suspension of active warfare or armed conflict where opposing sides agree to stop fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty plain and simple, right? Black and white?
Seems like it.
If that's the case, then why we just had defensive strikes against Iran. Iran was trying to put more mines in. I think they tried using drones. I mean, what's going on?
So I guess,
is it a ceasefire or not a ceasefire?
I mean, allegedly these were defensive strikes that were intended to maintain the ceasefire. Now, if that wasn't a carefully worded sentence, that's coming out of the White House.
Say it again.
Yeah, well, go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
Can you say that again?
They were defensive strikes intended to maintain the ceasefire.
If that's not a politician response, I don't know what is.
I mean, that was a very well crafted sentence. I wonder who crafted that sentence. Was it Susie Wiles or Marco Rubio? Who crafted that sentence? Because talk about a line of shit. I mean, it's not a ceasefire if you're still having kinetic events, if you're still striking. And don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't believe that we should be doing this. I don't think we should be pushing a foot in around with Iran. I would have handled it quite a bit different if I was president of the United States. Of course, I won't be because they would never install me. But look, I guess Iran's reported these explosions. And I guess that site was reported.
Well, there's more. Let's play the clip and then we'll go on to the next part. This doesn't make sense, people, but let's do the clip.
News alert, we just carried out a new wave of strikes in Iran. The Pentagon confirming to Fox that U.S. forces struck 4 Iranian drones posing a threat to the Strait. CENTCOM also bombing an Iranian military site that was seconds away from launching a 5th drone. We're told these strikes were purely defensive and intended to maintain the ceasefire, quote unquote. This comes just after the president called a high-stakes cabinet meeting at the White House today. The main topic, Iran.
Here's more, people. Check this out. This is as of last night, 10:17 p.m. Iran launched a ballistic missile toward Kuwait that Kuwait successfully intercepted. Now listen to this. This egregious ceasefire violation by the Iranian regime occurred hours after Iranian forces launched 5 one-way attack drones that pose a clear threat in and near the Strait of Hormuz. I'm just going to stop right there. Does that sound like a ceasefire when I read the definition? I'm asking for a friend here because maybe somebody might not understand.
Friend. I don't think we have any friends of the administration, at least ones that are telling us the truth. I'm kidding, but this is an egregious ceasefire violation. That would seem to me that the ceasefire is over. If Iran is trying to,
it all depends, Lance. If you're a politician using the definition of how they think a ceasefire is, I mean, are we using the ceasefire from like Webster's dictionary, or are we doing it from like what a politician thinks a ceasefire is?
That's right. There's a dictionary for the White House, and then there's a dictionary and for all the politicians in Congress, and then there's a dictionary for the rest of us. But of course, George, these were defensive strikes. And I'm telling you, George, they were intended to maintain the ceasefire.
Okay, here's the kicker. Ready for you?
Go ahead.
So this is coming out reports this morning that the U.S. and Iran negotiators have reached a 60-day memorandum of understanding to a memorandum of understanding to extend the ceasefire and discuss Iran's nuclear program pending approval from President Trump. Now, what's there to discuss? We say no nuclear program. That's a non-starter. Either you accept or you don't. If Iran is still, running around a circle with this, then they're just trying to postpone this ceasefire, extend it, whatever, to do what they need to do. They're trying to get it to the midterms to make Trump look bad. Because they would want nothing more from the Democrats to take over the House or Senate. This way they can pull Trump out of there, use their...
No, they'll start the impeachment process immediately. Be impeached. We got to impeach him. He's a threat to our democracy.
But here's the thing. Why? How long do they need? How many more extensions do we got to give them?
I mean, it's not like they don't understand what
they fired drones and fired a missile at Kuwait. Does that sound like a country wanted to do a ceasefire? They fired drones at us, at our ships or whatever. I mean, that don't sound like peaceful cease. That doesn't sound like a country
George,
that
wants.
What
I really don't like about what you just said.
What?
About a week ago, Iran put in writing that they wanted an extension of 60 days or ceasefire for additional 60 days. And the administration and everybody was saying, no, we're not going to give them the extra 60 days. What you just read sounds like they gave them the fucking 60 days.
Well, it's pending Trump's approval. Let me look.
I'm struggling with this, guys. You guys tell me in the audience, maybe I shouldn't be struggling. This just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. It really does. And I'm not, listen, I voted for Donald Trump. I just don't understand. You go into Iran, you're going to get rid of that Ayatollah administration. You're going to get rid of the IRGC. You're going to get rid of the Basij militia. And now you're going to give them an extra 60 days. What, so they can rearm? So they can dig out more of their missile tunnels? I mean, I don't understand what the frick we're doing. I mean, if you're not going to drop the hammer and clean out that entire leadership that's been killing their own people and funding terrorism, why the frick are we there at all? And I listen, when they went in there, I thought it was a good idea. But not if you're going to half-ass and candy ass it, it's not a good idea. That never makes any sense, especially with a group like the Iranians. I mean, you guys, let me ask you this in the chat. Do you guys think we can trust Iran? No matter what comes out of their mouth, you see their actions. They're saying there's a ceasefire. There's no real ceasefire. The U.S. says there's a ceasefire. There's no real ceasefire. Do you guys trust Iran? Just give it a yes or no in the chat. My response is hell no. I don't trust Iran. Hell no.
Hell no?
No. And you know who else I don't trust? Stacey Abrams. I don't trust her, George.
Even though, I don't trust her either. She's been awfully quiet, though.
Well, she's now been linked to an NGO, reported $100 in revenue in 23. Of course, the Biden EPA awarded that NGO $2 billion in 2024. So I guess this grant of, now, you understand a grant, you don't have to repay, guys. If you get a grant for $2 billion, it's like somebody just giving you a $2 billion bribe. In the case of Stacey Abrams, yeah, she's the poster child for a shitty, government official in any form. So I guess they have canceled the entire grant, and that NGO has not had access to any of those funds. In fact, the Trump EPA has canceled over $29 billion in grants so far, of course, on behalf of taxpayers. But man, Stacey Abrams, I mean, wow. Talk about a slimy bitch. Got a pretty good clip here. Let's play that, George.
And billions of dollars was given out just very quickly before Biden left office. Billions and billions were given out. And I mean, I know of many cases, but one, I don't know what's happened with it, but I think you're looking at it. I know Lee was involved in it environmentally. Stacey Abrams was given $2 billion for an account that had $103 in it, an environmental fraud, I guess. And she had $103 in this newly opened account. And before leaving business, they put $2 billion into the account. And they had no reason for existence. They were unable to say what they did with it. $2 billion. Lee, do you want to just mention something about that?
Well, thanks to your leadership, Mr. President, that was canceled. And they no longer have access to that $2 billion.
They won like hell. They wanted that money. Go ahead.
In fact, it was over $29 billion that it's now been canceled at EPA. You told us to make it a priority. Now this happened as soon as you came in. After the election, before your inauguration, they were caught on video saying that they were rushing to get billions of dollars out the door before you're swearing in, because they were afraid that once you were sworn in, you were going to stop it. Well, that part they were right.
We did. Yeah, we did. Great job.
And we're happy to do it, Mr. President. And, the Department of Justice under Todd Blanche's leadership, they just secured another big win in appeals court on some recently canceled grants for different agencies. So great attorneys making sure that this accountability is delivered over the finish line. It's been a great team effort.
Yeah. Wow, fraud. Well, guess what? There's more fraud. And more fraud. Yes.
More fraud, George.
More in this meeting.
I'm shocked.
Now we had the Small Business Administrator, SBA, Kelly Loeffler. She revealed in this meeting that she uncovered staggering amounts of fraud, which includes, listen to this amount, $200 billion in fraudulent Paycheck Protection Program loans that the Biden regime kept hush-hush. Man, the Biden administration was keeping a lot of hush-hush payments.
He was a great president, Joe Biden. He really did a lot of good work for the country, and his administration did a lot of good work. Massive sarcasm there.
I mean, take a look at all the fraud they're finding, and then just think about what they haven't found yet.
And that's a good point. I mean, and a lot of times people say to me, "Well, how do you think we got $40 trillion in debt?"
Well, here's a good way.
I mean, the truth is there should be a special prosecutor.
Why ain't our retirees getting more in the Social Security checks? Here's a great point.
I don't know. Maybe when they pay back the $2.6 trillion they borrowed from Social Security. Go look it up. $2.6 trillion they borrowed from Social Security with no plan to repay it. They don't have anything in place. Even this administration hasn't even touched that elephant in the room. It's crazy. And if that money was back in Social Security, wow, you know what it would mean? That means all the people on Social Security in this audience, you would be getting a raise. Right now, they're telling you that Social Security is going to go broke. Well, what about the $2.6 trillion? I mean, and that's the point. All that money that got funneled out the door from USAID, all the money that got funneled out with the magic money computers that Elon Musk, I still haven't seen any of it clawed back. How about that miserable old piece of shit, George Soros and his kid? USAID was funding 64 of his NGOs. And that money was being funneled from those NGOs to one of the worst organizations when it comes to division and chaos, the Open Society Fund. I mean, I'll honest, I don't understand why they haven't kicked in George and Alexander Soros's front doors and drug them out of there.
I don't know either, but here you'll be happy to know this because this just came out this morning while we're on air. The Department of Health and Human Services is now auditing all 50 states for explosive fraud in Medicaid payments for autism, treatments, and other stuff. How long is it going to take them? Imagine if the government had up-to-date computer systems. Because there's all the computers, even you heard when Elon said they're so antiquated, everything's so old that, and they want to keep it like that. Don't get a choice. Both sides, both Republicans and Democrats, want to keep it old so they can do their theft and give their this money, that money, and it can stay almost hidden unless you do deep dives. But if you have a new system with AI and all that, that shit ain't gonna happen no more. It shouldn't happen. Just think about that. How long is it going to take to audit all 50 states?
Oh man, a lot longer than we have since Donald Trump's only got what, less than 3 years now.
I'm gonna play the clip. Ready?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the other thing about fraud. Small businesses are particularly hurt by the fraud because they're some of our biggest taxpayers in the country. And they show up every day. They work hard to provide for their employees, to build their businesses. They're doing it the honest way. And they see fraudsters taking from the American people. It's taxpayer money. And so you think about, at the SBA, we found $200 billion in fraudulent PPP loans that the Biden administration tried to hide and forgive and sweep under the rug. We've turned the first $22 billion of that over to Treasury for collections and to DOJ for prosecution. Our Inspector General is already announcing that people are going to jail. There are jail sentences now being served. We've announced that 140,000 people have been barred from ever getting SBA loans again, defrauding the government for about $9 billion. So we are going to continue our work under the great leadership of Vice President Vance and appreciate the partnership because it's really accelerated our ability to get the job done.
So, I mean, you heard it. They said they're making arrests. You just don't hear about these arrests.
Well, I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
But what I didn't hear was she saying that the people that covered it up aren't going to get arrested. I mean, I want to hear about government officials getting arrested. I'm not saying I don't want to see these private citizens that broke the law get arrested, but I want to see government officials get arrested. I want to see the people that helped cover this up, that hid it. And that's the problem. It never sounds like there's accountability as a government official. You just,
I mean, those people would just say, I don't know, they're just play dumb. Like, oh, they submitted the paperwork, look good, it got approved. That's what you'll hear. Can you be charged for stupidity? Probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
But big things in Florida, though, like usual. Governor Ron DeSantis, he just called a special session, of legislation to abolish Florida homeowners' property taxes. This is used. Now, they're saying once this legislator approves, it goes to the voters. 60% will easily pass this. His plan is to mediate $250,000 in tax-free, meaning all primary homes, $250,000 underpay, zero tax. The rest get to deduct it from the taxable amount. The schedule will be set to abolish taxes fully in primary residences. It could first double to $500K, then be lifted. So he's trying to do something now, but it'll get cemented in if the people in Florida vote on it in November.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who pushes back. Let's play the clip, George.
They say 60% of Florida primary homeowners fall into the immediate no taxes.
Wow.
And then when it kicks into $500K, that's 90%.
I'll give him credit. Big move by DeSantis.
What?
Yeah, let's play that clip.
That we are going to work with the legislature on to be on the ballot will begin with an initial raising of the homestead limit to $250,000 for all Florida homesteaders, with then the legislature commanded to enact a schedule that will lead to the full elimination of the homestead limit. Now, why this is something that I think will be very strong and I think something that will be meaningful, a $250,000 limit that eliminates property tax for 60% of Florida homeowners. Once you put a schedule in, and this would be something that we'd work with the legislature on after the vote is taken in November if it's successful, when you raise to 500,000 limit, that's 92% of all Florida residents would be tax-free. I think this bottom-up approach is a better approach. You know, there have been some proposals where, you know, every homestead, they take 2/3 off every homestead or however they do it. And the problem with that, just to me, is, you know, even someone owns a $200,000 house isn't going to have eliminated. They're still going to be paying property tax. Someone has a $200 million home, what, they're going to get this massive. I'd rather focus on folks who are new homeowners, young people, seniors on fixed income, you know, our middle-class folks. And so this will be really significant. Now, why do it that way? Well, one, you got to pass it. Two, it's a way to be able to make this a smooth transition to where people aren't going to say, oh, you're not going to be able to have money for services. You're going to be able to do it. And I'll talk a little bit about other things we're going to do to ensure that. So this is something that can actually get done. I think it could be meaningful. Right off the bat, 60%, do nothing. Everyone else is still getting a massive tax cut. And then pretty soon, you're going to end up having over 90% of Florida homeowners for sure. And then as you go up, obviously you sweep more people in. But that's just something really significant, that 92% of the people in this state who own a home and are homesteaded, you know, would not have property tax just by getting the exemption up to that level. That's something that's really, really meaningful. And those are the people that I really, really want to help. Because we've seen all the things that you know, have been difficult in the economy in terms of the America's inflationary spiral since COVID, and it's tough. And people see all this inflation accumulates in terms of compounding, and so we want to be able to do. So those are the folks I think it's going to really make a difference of. Now, what the proposal will also do is constitutionally say, okay, local governments, you get all this residential property tax from the non-homestead and from the commercial. We'll always say that if you cut property tax, that people aren't going to have police or all this. So here's the thing. That revenue can only be used for schools, for police, for fire, first, and the core services that we all agree on. It's not going to be allowed to be used on some of the other things that I know are a little bit more divisive in terms of whether they're going to do. So that actually ensures that that money that is being taken, that's still an awful lot. That's still going to be, under this proposal, that'll be more than $50 billion. It'll be over 50, 55 billion, somewhere like that. They're still getting a lot of money, way more than what they got just 7 years ago, tens of billions of dollars more. And obviously that will phase down from the homestead, but it will also go up as the economy expands, as more people buy second homes and the snowbird. Here's the thing. Tax someone rich. If some billionaire from Brazil's buying a, tax them. Good.
Tax them. I mean, seems pretty good.
Big move by Florida. There's no doubt. No state tax, right? No income tax by the state. Now they're talking about no property tax. It's a double win. Double win for people in Florida. All right.
Yeah. Who else is going to start doing that?
E. Jean Carroll.
That bitch.
The DOJ is launching a criminal investigation into the Trump rape accuser. She alleged that Donald Trump, of course, you know the story, that Donald Trump raped her in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in the 1990s, although she could not name the date or even the year this allegedly took place. And when she said, this was the dress I was wearing, because they tried to do a Monica Lewinsky dress thing, turned out that dress was by a designer that hadn't even made that dress till years later. So that was a lie too. But the weird part is there was an interview with Anderson Cooper, which I don't like Anderson Cooper. I think he's a POS. I think he's a conniving weasel, liar. Carroll said that rape is sexy and a fantasy. And I guess, of course, right away, Anderson Cooper wanted to cut to a commercial break. I think I just got the clip. I didn't get a chance to listen to it because I didn't want it, but I'm pretty sure I've got the right clip. Let's play the clip, George, first. And
don't feel like a victim.
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished, which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt.
Well, I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
She didn't say she thinks it's sexy. She said most people think that rape is
I know,
sexy.
but I don't think I've never thought of rape as being sexy.
Me either. I think it's fucking
I don't
vile.
think most people, and you could see Anderson Cooper was just stuttering all over himself, a little weasel. He wanted to cut to a break. I mean, I don't think Jean Carroll was Donald Trump's type, and I don't think Donald Trump has any history of being an aggressive guy that would want to force himself on a woman. Of course, he had lots of money for a very long time. Women threw themselves at him. He had lots and lots of beautiful women in his life. E. Jean Carroll, I mean, I think she also calls her cat. Her cat's name is Vagina. Now, she also had a talk show at one point, and if you ever find the episodes from that talk show, she's a psycho. And I don't like what they did there when they extended the statute of limitations. They got a hold of her. She was willing to play the game because she wanted a payday, I'm sure. Probably guaranteed her a payday. And the point is, the statute of limitations was way over, but then they extended it. And I said something to George yesterday. And I said, well, here's what I'm curious about. Statute of limitations was extended for this crime, this type of crime. How many other people said, oh, great opportunity. I can finally go after that person that assaulted me? How many other people other than E. Jean Carroll took advantage of this kind of ex post facto law move that the state made in New York, of course, that they made this move? How many other people did this help or cause somebody to face justice besides this weaponization against Donald Trump? I'd like to know if anybody else said, I'm going to take advantage of the new statute of limitations extension because I was raped, I was assaulted. Let me be clear. If there was any truth in this, I would say that she was more than justified. But I think this is a woman that is mentally imbalanced. And if you watch any of those videos from when she had that talk show, you would agree with me. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't call my animals penis and vagina. I don't give them names after sexual organs. I think that's pretty unusual for you to name your pet. It's not one of the top pet names, I can tell you. I don't think vagina is trending as a top pet name.
Who knows? She's just sick. But, I don't know if it was in deposition or in trial when Alina Habba asked Jean Carroll under oath if anyone's helping her pay for legal fees. And she said no. But it was actually revealed later on that billionaire Reid Hoffman was bankrolling her legal fees. And she tried to justify, I don't know. Oh, I just didn't remember or forgot. How do you not know if someone's paying your legal fees? Because your legal fee is going to be a lot of money.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had any interaction with Reid Hoffman. And for anybody out there that's confused, Reid Hoffman's a total piece of shit. He was the founder of LinkedIn. That's where his money came from. He's a miserable fat bastard. And he hates Donald Trump. And I'm sure he was willing to do anything possible. That's the point. Reid Hoffman, Mark Zuckerberg, and so many others. I don't understand George Soros. I don't understand why we're allowing these people to continue. They're lucky I'm not president of the United States. I can tell you that. They would all be taking dirt naps.
I want to get to this story here because I'm tired of talking about that lady. But Tesla made a breakthrough, but quietly. I don't know where you found this story, Lance, but when you found this story, immediately I was thinking about what happened to the Samsung batteries with the silver.
That's a good question. Been quiet on that. Very quiet.
Tell us what's going on with this.
Well, George is talking about the new technology that Samsung had that was going to really extend the life of a battery. They were going to be much cheaper, although they require a kilo of silver.
I'm talking about Tesla now.
Silver prices, maybe that's what impacted them, George. Silver prices went through the roof, and maybe that was a problem.
Oh, what's going on with Tesla? What are they doing?
Well, this is a new breakthrough, big deal. Of course, Elon Musk always innovating. He's got a new way to make these battery cathodes without toxic liquid solvents, which makes the disposal of lithium-ion batteries much more green. George was talking about the other day that how destructive these batteries are. We even talked about it I talked about in the Liberty Roundtable live show. But I guess this thing uses some kind of a microscopic spider web structure that binds the materials together instead. It also triple manufactured speed and can shrink the physical footprint of battery factories by up to 50%. So I guess it's not a lab experiment. This gigafactory in Texas is already mass producing these cells, and they're going to be putting them in select Model Y vehicles with Cybertruck, Cybercab, and they're going to be rolling them out in their Tesla semis through 2026 and 2027. So this is not a pipe dream. Elon Musk has brought this to fruition very quickly, and it should impact. They're even saying the cost is going to be less, which is going to make the EVs more affordable. So pretty crazy stuff here, man.
It is. I mean, that's one of the big things with EVs, solving like the battery issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Kudos to Elon Musk. You know, the Chinese are going to try to
copy it, steal it.
They're going to, of course, they're going to try to steal and put in their cars in China. You know that. We know that. Yeah. Come on.
I mean, China does have some nice looking EVs. The interiors are nice. The exteriors are nice. And, you know, they're not like the Ferrari Luce, of course.
How are they quality built? So that's the thing. Are they durable?
You know, I don't know.
We don't hear about that.
But of course, they're not like that Ferrari Luce at 640,000. You know.
Yeah.
Ferrari Luce. Yep. Why are you gay? All right. Well, listen, if you love the show, we love you. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Your time's your most valuable commodity. So coming here, sharing it with us. All right. You know the drill. Hit that follow button before you leave. If you're a new follower, definitely get in this chat next time. Don't be shy. Get in here. Let's hear what you have to say. Introduce yourself to the Big Wig Mafia and the subscribers. If you can do a paid subscription, $5 a month. If you can throw us a Rumble Rant tip on the way out door, $5, $10, $20 if you enjoyed the show. We appreciate you. And of course, follow G. Ballantine, Lance Miliaccio, and the Big Wig Show on X. We're also on Gab, Getter, you name it. We're all over the place. And listen, at the end of the day, take the short form, take the long form. We're not going to come after you. We want you to share the message. Thank you so very much for joining us. And we will see you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. And tomorrow, George, of course, Crypto Power Hour, right? Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, but we got Doc Mike Schwartz coming on the show at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I confirmed with him earlier. Yeah, he'll be on.
Right.
So enjoy your Thirsty Thursday. Love you guys. Peace.
I might have to let it drop. Represent, got it hella big, had to run it back again. Like it represent, had to hella big, had to run it.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA. The future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.